Hi, it's me, DK Naidu. Welcome back to another video on Bhagavad Gita tips. So, in this video, I'm going to cover one of the most famous verses in Bhagavad Gita, the Karmanye Vadikaraste verse. Okay, chapter 2, verse number 47. Karmanye Vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of actions. Do not consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. So, I guess most of you, if not all, have heard this verse and know the meaning. But today I'm going to present this verse in such a manner that you have not heard before. Okay, so the verse can be divided into four parts. The first part says, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. So, what makes Krishna so confident that he is saying that you have a right? Saying you have a right means nobody can stop you. Okay, so how come Krishna is giving so much confidence in the performer? The performer could be doing any work. So how come Krishna is giving so much confidence that you have a right? So the complete sentence goes like, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. So many readers of Bhagavad Gita, they overlook this concept of prescribed duty. So to understand this, we must first understand what is duty. Okay, like my girlfriend calls me up and she says, I want to move to your place. I say, okay, sure. I help her in packing her items and then we shift back to our place. Okay, so all this while I was engaged in duty. This is called duty. Then what is scribed duty? Scribed duty means somebody has assigned you a task based on some contract. Like I get a call from a music institute and they say, we want to appoint you as a dance and music teacher in our institute. Okay, so we need you to sign a contract. Then I sign a contract for a year or two. And then I start working in the institute. So now I am on a scribed duty. So what is prescribed duty? Prescribed duty means those duties that have been sanctioned by the Vedic literatures. Okay. So according to the Bhagavad Gita, the Brahmin work, the Kshatriya work, the Vaishya work and the Shudra work are sanctioned. So if you work according to these terms, then it's called prescribed duties. And more importantly, why Krishna is getting this extra confidence that you have a right to perform your prescribed duty. Okay, your means he will be acting in one of these four potentials: Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra. So once a person is properly situated in a prescribed duty, then Krishna is having this confidence that you have a right. Now I am giving you permission, nobody can stop you, you have a right. Okay, that's the meaning of the first part. The second part says, but you are not entitled to the fruits of your actions. Okay, you are not entitled to the fruits of actions. So I have extracted four meanings out of the second part. So the first meaning goes like, you are not already entitled to the fruits of actions. Means not that you are engaged in a prescribed duty and that you have a right to perform, so the fruits does not become yours immediately. Okay, that's the first meaning. The second meaning is, you are not entitled to the fruits of actions yet. That means not that you have started your work and as soon as you start your work you are entitled to the fruits. No, the action has to be completed. The task has to be completed. Okay. Fruits of action. That means the actions are having fruits, but you are not entitled yet. You have to complete the task. Okay, that is the second meaning. What is the third meaning? The third meaning is Krishna has already explained how a person should act with an attitude of renunciation without being attached to the fruits. And once he gets the fruits, he has to offer it to the Lord as a sacrifice, yajna, and distribute it in charity. Okay, by these means he can be free from the bondages of work in the material world. So this is the third meaning. The fourth meaning, it goes like, once you are assigned a task, first of all you have to entitle the fruits. Okay, it could be a trophy, it could be a medal, it could be a certificate, it could be cash prize, it could be some property, it could be a post that you can achieve. So first of all, entitle the fruits. The fruits are not yours yet, but write it down in your goal book, put it up on the vision board, and just go for it. Okay, entitle the fruits. So this is the fourth meaning of the second part. The third part is, do not think you are the cause of the results of your activities. Okay, in the second part you also have to notice that you are not entitled to the fruits of action. He does not say you are not entitled to the fruits of your action. Okay, the actions are having fruits. That's why he is not entitled yet, because it's not his fruits. Okay, just try to understand the overall meaning. So in the third part he says, do not think you are the cause of the results of your activities. Again, excuse me, I'm going back to the second part. In the second part there is also a positive affirmation. Okay, positive affirmation, that is, the fruits are going to come. You act and the fruits are going to come. That's called positive affirmation. It's a positive attitude towards life, which is common in the modern art of manifestation concept. Probably you would have heard about the secret, law of attraction, etc. So it's about the same concept here. And the third part goes like, do not think you are the cause of the results of your activities. So it goes like, do not think you are the cause. Okay, you should not think that you are the cause, because the cause is the one who has assigned you the task. He is the cause. The cause is the prescribed duty, the prescription from the Vedic literature. That is the cause. The cause is the Lord to whom you are to offer a sacrifice, and the cause could also be the worthy people to whom you are giving in charity. And apart from that, there are other causes like the three modes of material nature and the five factors of action. So he is telling that do not think you are the cause of the results of your activities. Now here again there is a positive affirmation of your activities. So he is fulfilling his activities already. So the positive affirmation there. And the fourth part goes like, never be attached to not doing your duty. Okay, never be attached to not doing your duty. What it means by your duty is, when does it become your duty? It becomes your duty when you have taken up something, you are committed to something, then it becomes yours. You agree that, yeah, I'm going to take up this task, then the duty becomes yours. So he says, never be attached to not doing your duty. In this, another important word is never. Never means like throughout the pursuit of your actions. Never. Once you commit to an action, never look back. Do not give up, and do not leave the work unfinished. So never means that whole timeline of work. Never be attached to not doing your duty. So these are the meanings that I extracted from this verse. It really gives a profound meaning. And why this verse is so special? Because Krishna starts from prescribed duty. to normal duty. Like if you see in the fourth part, he says never be attached to not doing your duty. He does not say not doing your prescribed duty. Doesn't matter whether it is prescribed or not. Once you are committed to a duty, once you have said yes, okay, then it becomes your duty. Then you should not give up. You should somehow accomplish it. So how Krishna is covered from a prescribed duty to normal duties, then how he has uh, put forth the attitude in which we have to approach for the action. You should not be attached for the results, and then you should not think that you are the cause. You're also giving credits to all those factors around you. Okay, by having such an attitude, you become a good person, and also you'll be successful in achieving your results. And even if you're not successful, you won't be morosed. Okay, that is how this verses have been designed. So in my upcoming videos, I'm going to cover topics like the spiritual master and the Vedic literatures, etc. So look forward for my videos, and please do comment and let me know if you want to know something, if you have any doubts, or if you want to discuss about it. Please take active participation. So that's all for this video, guys. Take care and aim high.